con el fin de preservar el patrimonio relativo a William Shakespeare, en su ciudad natal, Stratford-upon-Avon, a mitad del siglo XIX, se estableció the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust, una fundación de carácter independiente.
We have 5 sites within our portfolio here in Stratford and the surrounding areas of Stratford. Of course, the birthplace where Shakespeare was born, where his parents lived, where he grew up, and obviously where he went to school from, in the heart of Stratford-upon-Avon, actually sitting on Henley Street, was the first one to be preserved. The trust has been in existence since 1847. And then over time we have gained other properties that have a connection to the Shakespeare story.
Parte de estas propiedades incluyen la cabaña de Anne Hathaway, su esposa. La granja de Mary Arden, su madre. Holscroft, propiedad de Susana, su hija. Pero es en este jardín, ahora conocido como Shakespeare's New Place, donde el bardo vivió sus últimos años. De esa casa de adultez no queda nada. Es ahí donde la Fundación ha realizado un proyecto, primero de rescate arqueológico y posteriormente la construcción de un memorial inaugurado en el verano de 2016.
What was here on the site of New Place was effectively a garden, a Victorian pleasure garden, when all of the land was put together in the early 1800s, because people knew this was the site of New Place, Shakespeare's adult home, which had unfortunately been demolished in 1759. So the land was put together quite early on and turned into sort of like a pleasure garden, a park if you like, and it remains a registered park and garden to this day. It's been a really interesting project working on. It's been in process for some 2.5 years now, and the Trust is investing several £1 million into the project. But of course, one of the main things that the project has given us the opportunity to do is to do archaeology on the site for the very first time since 1759. There had been earlier archaeology right at the front of the site, but not at the rear of the site where the house proper stood.
The Shakespeare Birthplace Trust ostenta el título de la más antigua asociación dedicada a la conservación en el Reino Unido, pero sus esfuerzos se han vertido también en la preservación de acervos y la difusión del conocimiento en torno a William Shakespeare.
We have a very large archive and resource centre and a reading room that is used by scholars, personal researchers, children alike, and a very busy active education programme running alongside visits to our houses. But of course, I suppose in many ways it's Shakespeare's legacy, his actual cultural legacy to us is the writing, the plays and the poetry. But increasingly people are really engaging with what it must have been like to be Shakespeare alive at that time.
El objetivo ha sido crear una experiencia integral para el visitante de este grupo de recintos en Stratford-upon-Avon.
I think it's also about allowing people to identify themselves in his writing. As I said, you know, his characters are from across the world, but actually the thing that he manages to draw through all of his texts is the fact that, you know, we are all human and we all have the same emotions and how people use it. But by using, in many ways, an artistic medium, as Shakespeare did himself, through incorporating sculpture and presentations, it allows people to make their own personal connections. It's really important to allow people's own imaginations to work around Shakespeare. That is what he was doing, was presenting things on stage that were giving various messages, but it's how you pick up on those messages that is important. And that's what we're allowing people to do.